Tasya Heturvidya. Not understanding his purpose is ignorance. Not understanding this relationship of Brahma and Maya, that is universe, is ignorance. Sananda Samadhi, that is blissful absorption. The mental worship drives the concentration to such an extent that the absence of sensory information creates bliss, and this think tank is evolved to pointed concentration. The dull, cast and whimsical stages of mind are permanently abandoned. Mind is full of satisfaction of having emancipated from gross subjects and materialistic world. The ego trigger is lowered and total bliss is experienced. Someone when thinks that this is the ultimate achievement, the progress is stopped and further yogic lessons from which he is absolved. Sasmit Samadhi, that is egoist absorption. After the experience of bliss and understanding of ThinkPad and the perceiver as some due to ego, that is I-ness called Asmita. This is a reflection of ego in the ThinkPad and becomes the property of ThinkPad. The self when perceived as different as ThinkPad, this is the egoist absorption. Clear understanding of the perceiver and all this travel concentration is called intuitive absorption or Sampradnyat Samadhi. Sampradnyat Samadhi, transcendental absorption. विराम प्रत्ययाभ्यास पूर्व संस्कार शेषोन्य. On constriction and repeated learning, only the impressions are left over in the memory. Constriction of all operating systems of mind is higher dispassion, that is paravairagya, and by repeated learning only the impressions are left over in the memory. Discarding attachment to mental frame, that is vritti, that helps in understanding difference between self, the perceiver, and chitta, ThinkPad, and also called trans-intuitive absorption. Asampradnyat Samadhi, here Samadhi is treated as learnt lesson and absorption to a success. Bhava Pratyayo Videha Prakritilayanam. Lesson of Asampradnyat Samadhi is congenial quality of those incorporeal and considered as merged with nature, absorbed with subtle. The students who have achieved the lesson of Savitarka Samadhi and Savichar Samadhi and given up the further self-yearning and studying further the lessons of Sananda Samadhi and their self-pride has retired are considered incorporeal. Those who have attended Sananda Samadhi, the lesson of blissful absorption and studying Sasmit Samadhi, the lesson of ego dissolution are considered the merged with nature or absorbed to subtle. They have knowledge of 7 dimensions of nature. Most give up the further learning hereafter and find themselves contented. Nanananda Vivyaktir Murti Nirdharmatvat. Expression and perception of bliss is not emancipation. It is not the property of perceiver, but the property of think tank. That is hardware, and because the dissolution of ego does not give accomplishment, there is bound to be relapse. You suffocate underwater and required to come out for a breath. Thus, ego being property of nature, that is, nature's implantation to mind genetically, may drive for comeback. Some of the students are born blessed with the stages of incorporeal. श्रद्धा वीर्य स्मृति समाधि प्रज्ञा पूर्वक इतरेशम. Faith or belief, vigor, reminiscence, absorption and intelligence, these properties are blessed to other than the students beyond incorporeal and absorbed students. Those different from incorporeal and absorbed establish a samprajnat samadhi. This is non-cognitive accomplishment. As per yoga, delighted mind is faith, enthusiasm and vigor. Not forgetting is reminiscence, and concentration of mind is samadhi, accomplishment, fit to be known as intellect. With one-pointed concentration is mastered the accomplishment Rutumbara on extraordinary intellect, and consciousness with full truth is established in the think tank, that is mind. Tivra samvega namasannaha. The strong ebullience avoids faster accomplishment. More and more enthusiasm in efforts towards the learning of samadhi. Earlier is the achievements. The strong ebullience avoids faster accomplishment. More and more enthusiasm in efforts towards the learning of samadhi. Earlier is the achievement. Mrudu madhyadi matra tatvat tatopi visheshaha. The ebullience are of 9 stages: low, medium and high. Again, the low ebullience in 3 stages are lowest, lower and low. The medium ebullience is lower, medium, medium of medium and higher medium. The higher ebullience is low, high, the medium, high and highest. The highest stage of ebullience is the most beneficial in the travel towards aim. Ishwar Pranidhanadva. The lessons to be learnt for total constriction and cessation of tendencies are explained in the last 22 formulas. And apart from these lessons, now yoga teaches further the 7 doctrines for cessation of tendencies, because the ultimate aim is yoga, the cessation of tendencies. To meditate on Ishwar is also the way to cessation. The meditation pushes back all impediments in learning the process of cessation. क्लेश कर्म विपाकाशया aparamrushtaha purusha visheshaha ishwaraha. The supreme principle divinity that is free from properties of mind and matter. What is Ishwar? The concept immediately comes to mind as a subjective and divine. However, it is necessary to learn clean the preconceived faith, belief, symbols, feelings and prejudice from mind and understand the concept through the formula of the pure meaning. If we are to learn a new language, we do not preconceive any prejudice towards that language, and the language is completely unknown to us. This is expected while studying the above. What is Ishwar? The sutra says that it is the principle that is pure and has not been afflicted with distress, act, destiny, maturing, end, and the fruits of action. There is nothing in this world, living or non-living being, that is not undergoing change. Therefore, to imagine the concept without pain and pleasure is a difficult task. And the purity of the Supreme Principle is omniscient, omnipotent, formless, and free from properties of mind and matter. Human being is overburdened with the concepts and prejudice as ancestral gift. He therefore whatever performs results in affliction. To escape the grief and endurance, yogic principle is an ultimate method. Ishwar is the principle free from affliction, destiny, or any action whatsoever. The Ishwar is not to be conceived as Rama or Krishna or Vishnu or any worldly, physical or symbolically conceived God. Yoga does not accept such a deity as God or any symbol. To imagine the concept is a difficult task because we have never experienced the life without afflictions, distress and freedom. We have a freedom to select a few things, but we have no freedom to reject anything that is given for living. The world is programmed accurately, and there is hardly anything that can be changed or modified. We have understanding and the knowledge that does not absolve us from pain and pleasure of life. To emancipate from all this, perform Ishwar Pranidhan, meditate and concentrate on Ishwar. Further qualities are described below.